Greetings and salutations. Welcome and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you wonderful D&D addicts out there in the internet space. My name is Michael, I am the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Rime of the Frostmaiden, an Icewind Dale adventure set in the world of the Forgotten Realms. Now, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone who has kicked us off on our hype train this morning. What a wonderful way to start the week. Thank you so much to all of you, Metbrecker, Kalindria, Janasi. You guys are always absolutely wonderful and know how to spoil me when I start my streams. As for everyone else, it's so good to see so many familiar faces. I see Kethra and I see Platypus, Calface. What's up? Who else do I see? I see Met and Catley, of course. I thought I saw McBluff. Maybe I didn't see McBluff. Maybe I didn't. But that's okay. Alright, but yes, as you know, we are going to be playing our D&D 5th edition adventure, taking a journey into the wintry wastelands that is, of course, the lands of Icewind Dale, where our heroes are carving a life for themselves. They're spending a lot of time getting to know one another and getting to know the life in the frigid north, and have encountered a number of dangers that have plagued the people here and have made efforts to try and overcome them in various little ways, having managed to prevent a giant from a all-out brawl with a small town called Goodmead, through saving some children from a wicked awakened mammoth in the town of Dugan's Hole. Our heroes are about to embark on or are going to continue a very dangerous encounter that they are facing off with. But before we tell you about that, let's throw the ball over to our wonderful players to tell you about themselves and the characters that they'll be playing. Let's start, of course, with none other than our dear friend Twiff playing Ulfgar. Good morning, sir.
Good evening from the east coast of the U.S. I am playing Ulfgar Bright Anvil, Dwarven Artificer, and Mage Extraordinaire. He is handy with a hammer. He is not as handy with his social graces, but he's happy to, well, he's mostly right now concerned with actually staying warm after our adventures with the blizzard and his drop into the drink.
Very cool, very cool. Now, unfortunately, Lance will not be able to join us, so unfortunately, Motley is going to be on autopilot, but we do send Lance all of our love, and hope that he will return in due time. But next up, of course, we have the wonderful Aya Janasi playing Sira. Hello!
Hello, and good morning to you. How are you?
I am stupendous, thank you. Tell us a little bit about Sira.
Sira is a light cleric and a follower of Lythander. She's a bit of a hot-headed, as you know, her Efreet background would suggest, and she's looking forward to battling the darkness and the ice.
Nice, that's what I love to hear. Next up, of course, returning once again in the role of Kilmarin, our tiefling warlock, is none other than our saucy friend Saucy. Hello!
Hello! So yeah, I'll be playing Kilmarin, a hulking 6+ foot tall purple tiefling who shoots eldritch blast from his short crossbow. And yeah, we're battling the cold almost more than we're battling monsters up here, it would seem. So very excited to see if we could get a little bit of warmth, shake off some exhaustion, and do the 10 towns some good.
Very nice, very nice. And of course, last but certainly not least, appearing in a very new form, we have, of course, the wonderful Rykon.
Hello, hello.
Rykon, tell us about your character.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening to people. Delwyn, the half-elven bard. Wishing that things weren't going the way they were at the moment. With a certain thing that we are fighting.
The thing with the thing.
Yes, the very cold thing.
Very nice, very nice. No, you are going to be going face to face with them, and of course, you are not going to be alone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you have not been to my stream before, then I am glad to tell you that you are invited not just to be the audience watching the show, but you guys are invited behind the GM screen to help with the encounters and the escapades that our heroes undergo. There are a number of ways that you can interact. The first, of course, being through our channel points, where we have a number of awesome means for you to be able to influence the game, including things such as plot twists and insight bonuses, magic bags that create items that'll be helpful to the group. But also, if you wish to help support me, keep my lights on, and buy me a coffee, you guys can, of course, donate to the channel through direct tips and donations. For $5, you can give someone a hero point, which you can see are these little red tokens here, or a jinx point if you wish to bestow bad luck upon them. For $10, you can grant them a wheel or woe. Now, these basically turn the scenario very quickly in or against the party's favor. For $20, you can give someone a golden Nat 20 token. There it is, right there. And for, of course, $50, the grand prize, you can create a custom magic item, a boss battle, or even an NPC that the group gets to acquire or deal with. So yeah, lots of really cool ways, lots of really cool things. But yeah, that's where we're at. Now, without any further ado, our heroes return, once again, to the shores of Red Lake. What they see around them is the ice shifting and twisting, as the frigid and very, very stable ice that they were once on is now falling away and drifting further from where they are. As the loose ice crashes and careens, our heroes have been fighting against a phantom. One of the members of the town of Dugan's Hold, formerly hailed as a hero who had been plunged into the lake, has emerged as a phantom warrior and has taken an affront to our players. As they are fighting back tooth and nail against their ghostly adversary, one of our party members, Ulfgar, had fallen into the water and had not yet come up for air. It is here that we pick up our adventure, as... Dun, 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 dun. Let's go into the map. Nope, don't want to show me my map.
How rude.
How rude. How rude indeed.
This has been the most uncooperative map we've encountered yet.
Nope, that's not it.
That
I
is
think you
an
meant to say glub, glub, glub.
Yes, I did mean to say glub, glub, glub.
All right, there we go. All right.
Can you reshare, please?
I have reshared.
There we go.
I can
It
reshare.
just took a bit.
Impatient players. Always, yeah. All right, there we go. All right, so we are going to kick back off into initiative, starting with, of course, Syrah, who is at the edge of a large ice bridge that she had created thanks to the effects of a magic bag donated by our audience.
And does Ulfgar, now that he's been serendipitously saved by the Frostmaiden, does he look injured, or is
so Ulfgar hasn't come up from the water yet.
Oh, all right.
So far as Syrah is aware, Ulfgar has fallen into the water after being attacked by the Phantom and sunk into the depths.
But the Phantom is still there within, okay, so he's 5'10". This is him, this little blue. Yeah, okay, I see. I'm going to try to channel divinity, and I would like to turn undead.
Ooh, very nice. All right. So, Syrah, what does your turn undead look like?
Well, actually, I should have checked. I mean, I should have it, but it's not here.
No, because it is a ability. Your ability to turn undead. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censoring the undead. An undead that
Yes.
can see you within 30 foot must make a wisdom saving throw, and if they fail, they are turned away from you and for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
Right.
So, it is going to make its wisdom saving throw of 2, as it has still got the Bane ability that Motley had applied to it in the previous session. As the Phantom, what does your turning undead look like?
A gold aura emanates towards it and sort of envelopes it. There's a spark of fire about the edges as it gives a frisson to the air.
Nice. All right. As this happens, the Phantom Warrior shields its eyes from the glowing light and burns. It hisses and attempts to flee. It's going to try and flee into the water. So it's going to provoke an attack of opportunity from Delbwyn as he runs by. That is a hit. For 1 point of damage, the creature leaps into the icy water, and as it does, you watch as it begins to sink deeper. Speaker Edgar is going to make an attack at disadvantage and try to shoot through the water at the Phantom before he goes too deep. He does not. The arrow hits the water's surface and the momentum slows. Debwin?
Does he have armor?
Yeah, he does. If you are attempting to heat metal, you will know that he is also bathed in ice water.
True. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna go with this spell then. Let me double check on some things. Yes, we're gonna go Dissonant Whispers.
All right, very nice. Okay. What does your Dissonant Whispers look like?
It's going to be a bit of almost musical notes,
Mhm.
in a sense, coming from her bagpipes out towards the Phantom Warrior.
All right. Drop the save onto the Phantom and let's see if he can save or not. All right. He fails, taking the full brunt of the 3d6 psychic damage coming his way. And with that final blow, the spectral spirit seems to merge with the water. But you are not out of the woods yet. As the body of the spectre fades away, you notice the ice once again starts to freeze rapidly. All right. Yes.
I was going to say, are we still on initiative?
You are still on initiative.
Never mind then.
All right. So yes, as you can see, the ice is starting to once again freeze over the lake very rapidly.
Yeah, she's looking around to see if she can find a hint of where Ulfgar is currently.
You can make a perception check. I'll allow you to do that as you're right there. You have no sign of Ulfgar. Alright, Kilmarin, it is your turn.
Question.
Yes.
Can you place me on the map?
Yes.
This is what happens when you miss a session.
This is what happens when you miss a session.
Kilmarin wakes up from his long winter's nap.
What's been going on, guys?
It's so cold.
Oh, hey. This is fantastic. Okay, so the ice is freezing up, and Dublin could not see down into the depths, so I will presume I cannot see down into the depths where our friend has gone.
You can make a perception check.
I shall. So, P for perception, yeah. Just drop it on the talkie-talk board. Why'd that roll twice?
Because you're exhausted. Maybe.
Disadvantage, thank you. Yep.
All right. Yes, unfortunately, you cannot see through the slurry that is now quickly forming. The ice that you can see beneath you is not just sort of turning solid straight away. But if anyone's actually seen when water starts to freeze at a particular temperature, it sort of becomes foggy and cloudy as it sort of stretches outwards. That seems to be happening in the depths. So these almost like these orbs of ice start to refreeze around the area that you saw Ulfgar fall.
I want to do one of two things, both crazy.
Hey, if it pays off.
Let's hear.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the thought. No, I can't because we can't talk in combat. I just have to do what I'm going to do.
You've got some talking room in combat. I mean, what you can't do is you can't sit down and make a 15-point PowerPoint presentation. And stuff like that.
Well, I was kind of thinking about graphing it out.
But if you want to turn around and say, "Hey, Delwyn, throw me a rope," yeah, there's no problem there. Yeah.
That's plan A. Plan B was to cast Burning Hands on the surface of the water to prevent some of the ice from freezing up so fast.
Well, it's up to you as to which one you want to do. Both are not terrible ideas.
I'm going to.
Delblin personally does not have rope.
We would have a sense of where he would in, though, right?
I'm going to cast Burning Hands to slow the... I just feel like my tiefling would do this. I just feel like this is more him. He's less the, hey, let's do the rope. So I will go to my actions. I will take Burning Hands. Where do you want me to cast that? On the water?
It's up to you. Where do you cast it?
I cast it across the surface of the water.
All right, you cast it across the surface of the water.
Yeah. Should be able to click on that, right? Attack.
Well, no, that's fine. It's not going to do any... I mean,
if anything, you could roll the damage inside the text box.
You're fine. You don't need to roll the what are you doing? You don't need to roll the damage. You're aiming at water. The water is not going to take damage and then suddenly be destroyed. It's just...
The ice should dissipate. The ice should be pushed back. That's the intent here.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's mechanically not going to work like that, then we'll do the old rope and dive. There we go.
There you go.
Right on.
Jeez, that's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Well,
I think it's 15 feet.
Yeah, it's 15 foot, so that's about 15 foot. All right.
And a big blast.
All right, so a gout of fire begins to push back some of the ice as it's sort of trying to freeze. As it does so, it does not penetrate through the icy water all that deep, and it is a very sudden burst. So as soon as it's erupted outwards and pushed it back, it again just sort of fizzles away. Which brings us to Ulfgar. Ulfgar, you regain consciousness and can see a light directly above you. It is bright and looks as though the surface of the water is on fire for a fleeting moment.
I am going to... So, I just experienced a vision of a demigod owl being calling me back. And I am going to head for the surface because...
Swim towards
I don't
light.
want to drown. Yes, I'm going to head to the light.
All right, make an athletics check if you'd be so kind.
Great. So this is awesome because I still have everything at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So athletics.
Oh, sorry, before you do so, make a perception check. What was that?
I don't know what happened there. I dropped it
Oh, no, there you go.
there. All right.
All right. So with a 3, all right, good. All right, now you can make an athletics check.
Oh no.
Oof. Unfortunately, you dropped the natural 20, but you do manage to swim upwards. I'm just going to roll something privately real quickly. Okay. Yep, so you start to rise to the surface. At this point, Debwin and Kilmarain, you can both now see the silhouette of Ulfgar making his way up. He's about 10 foot below the surface of the water at this point as he is climbing up. But the ice is getting closer. All right. Which brings us to Motley, who is going to continue to make his way around, doing the best he can. We then go to Syrah.
All right. And each of the blocks is a 5 foot?
Yeah.
So 5. And I'm going to apologize for everyone as I ask, do you see a little silhouette of a man?
Will you do the fandango?
And I think I still have rope. I think it was Ulfgar's rope that was stolen. So I'm just going to throw rope on the water. And
Rope on the water.
And fire in the ice.
Yeah, and I'm trying to, so I'm just like looking at the details of my light spell. Can I cast light like at the tip end of the rope that's floating in the water?
It'll take you an action to throw the rope, so unfortunately you will be out of actions.
Okay, yeah, that is not a bonus action. So I will throw the rope and let it lie upon the water.
The rope is now in the water. It floats. At least it'll float for the time being.
Well, I'm holding on to the other end.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to. I didn't hear that. I heard I threw the rope in the water. I was just like, okay.
No, obviously with one end in my hand, I throw the other end in the water. Sorry.
Well,
I will be more
clearly
precise.
I am stupid, and it's not obvious to some of us whose IQ is room temperature. Okay, so that's fine. So as you've thrown the rope in the lake, again, Ulfgar, you can see directly above you the serpentine figure of the rope silhouetted against the sky. The speaker is making their way around. Debwin, you're up.
Oh, goody. I'm going to help pull up when the rope is grabbed.
Okay.
Because there's not much else I can do at the moment.
Sure. All right, Kilmarin. Someone has cast silence.
I have been silenced. Kilmarin's going to be a fool now. And he's going to
Oh,
run
no.
forward. Oh, yes. He's going to grab the rope that you two are holding.
Sorry. To clarify, that area there.
Are you in the water?
That's the water. You'd be jumping off the rock into the water.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to jump into the water.
Look. He didn't
You
say
guys are
he didn't say, "Hey guys, do you think I should?" He said, "I jump in the water." So
That's correct. Wait. I want to finish the rest of my description. I'm not just jumping in the water.
Well, before we go into the description, let's handle this bit by bit. As Kilmarin jumps from the rock and into the water, there is a disbelieved look on both Debwin and Sierra's face as I need an athletics check from Kilmarin as he hits the water and begins to swim.
Oh.
So the added part was that I am grabbing the rope that they have so I have the rope in hand as I, okay?
Yep.
So just for clarity there, let's see the athletics check.
But the cold.
I trust you guys. We got to get there we go.
Oh.
With a natural 1, and as I would like to point out, natural 1s are not an automatic failure in skill checks, but as we do have in Michael's home rules, any value that is not a actual figure, so 0s or lower, come with what's considered to be a catastrophic failure. So, as Kilmarin jumps into the water whilst grabbing the rope, there is only one catastrophic failure that could happen here, and that is that Kilmarin wrenches the rope out of both Sierra and Debwin's hands as he leaps into the water.
So now here's the question, DM question.
Yeah.
I have a hero point.
You may use your hero point.
I feel like this would be a good moment to
Probably,
use
yeah. I'd say so.
that.
The ice
So
does
we're
not
gonna
kill you.
re-roll that athletic check if I'm correct.
Zero will.
Yes, it will still be a disadvantage though, but yes, you may re-roll
that's
it.
fine. Hopefully, it won't be as catastrophic as before. 2 18s.
Nice.
Hey.
All right. As the rope gets pulled out of both Sierra and Debwin's hands, you both very quickly scamper and grab onto it. Kilmarine, you land with a splash in the frigid cold water. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Con save.
As you are battling hypothermia and you have jumped into the freezing lake.
Heroically, I might
Very
add.
heroically. Oof. Okay.
Oh.
Not great.
All right. So
At
you were
least it's
gonna.
not a 0.
Okay. So you were gonna take to begin with 2 points of cold damage as you've jumped into the water. Whoops, that's temporary hit points. Let's give you 2 damage. There we go. And of course, you're not gaining exhaustion yet, but you will in the next round if you continue to fail the Constitution saving throws. All right. As you hit the water, you have a major athletics check, and you can now swim. You may swim down to where Ulfgar is, if you desire.
And that is what I will do. I
Very
will
well.
swim down to Ulfgar.
Holding your breath, you immerse yourself in the icy waters. Ulfgar, you could see the silhouette of Kilmarin swimming down towards you. It is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to swim towards the person that I can see who's bringing me a rope.
All right, I'll need an athletics check for you.
Of course. Let's do that. Athletics.
Nice. All right, you managed to pull and swim and drag yourself upwards. I need a perception check from you. All right, you managed to. You managed
really
to
hating that disadvantage.
you managed to reach up towards Kilmarin and you grab onto his arm. You are both now connected. Sierra and Debwin, as you've both readied your actions, you can both feel the tension. It is up to you as to whether or not you would like to pull.
I would very much like to.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so here's how this works. I am going to let you both roll an athletics to pull. However, one will be assisting the other. As per my house rule for this, I always go with, in the event of an assist, you do not need to allocate a primary or a secondary. you will simply go with whoever is the highest as the primary, and if the other person succeeds, then you'll get the bonus, etc. All right. So hold on, wait, where are we at? So Sierra got a natural 1.
Yeah, it's dreadful.
Okay. Debwin, you get an 8. That means you are at an 8. Unfortunately, this means the both of you are unable to handle the combined weight of Kilmarin and Debwin. Kilmarin and Ulfgar.
I'm not too surprised.
I need someone to roll me a D6, please. First person in will get me a D. We'll get this in. Oof, that's not great. All right, you slip 10 foot, which unfortunately is enough to drag you both off the rock. But before you do so, I need a reflex save from the two of you as you're about to go into the water.
And what would you classify reflex?
Sorry,
Just
dexterity save.
Dex.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, for references for our audience, in case we don't have any Pathfinder players, if ever I say reflex save, I mean dex. If ever I say will save, I mean wisdom. And if ever I say fort save, I'll mean constitution. All right.
Oh!
Nice. The both of you just suddenly grind and plant your feet, and you are now stable. You just sort of clank yourself in. Yeah, you're not pulling them up, but at the same time, you have managed to hold them in place. All right, Kilmarin, it is your turn.
I swim back to the surface, pulling Ulfgar beneath me as I attempt to reach Dublin and Sierra.
All right, athletics checks, please, as you start to pull yourself up.
No whammy, no whammy.
Let's see what we get. There's that one again.
Oh,
And unfortunately, no hero point to pull you out of this one. So as you...
If only I could give my hero point.
I was going to say, can I give him mine?
No. All right, so as you... No. So as Kilmarin grabs and tries to pull... well, I guess there's only one real catastrophic thing that can happen here. As this happens...
No.
I need another dexterity saving throw from Sierra and Delwyn.
It's a tug of war in an ice
Ah,
bath.
scheisse.
All right, Debwin, you are fine. Sierra, you are pulled into
the drink.
Into the drink by the sudden sharp wham. Kilmarin
Can't
and Sierra,
believe
I
this
need
is
both of
happening
you to
again.
make me a Constitution saving throw as you hit the icy water.
That is brisk.
All right.
Hey, it's better than a 1.
As better than a 1.
You're not
All
wrong.
right. So, Sierra, you will take 5 points of damage. Kilmarin, you will also take 5 points of damage. I hope I've instilled in my players how dangerous ice is, right? I feel like that's a given.
The bigger issue is the two people who don't have good strength scores.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, because you have failed another con save in the water, Kilmarin, you have now gained a level of exhaustion. Your fingertips are starting to tremble. You could feel your toes starting to go numb as your hypothermia, which you're already kind of suffering from, is advancing in level. This is no good. Same thing, Sierra. If you fail another Constitution saving throw whilst in the water, you will again gain a level of exhaustion. All right, which brings us to Ulfgar.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep hanging onto the rope, and I really, Ulfgar's focus right now is getting in front of a fireplace. He's been cold for days, nearly died from the blizzard, and is now fallen into an icy lake, and he wants to be warm. So I'm gonna do what I can to get out of here, and hopefully, keep a hand on the rope. Maybe I can drag my compatriots along with me.
All right, make a perception check.
Perception.
one day he will see the goddess again with these rolls.
All right. Make an athletics check as you try to get out of the water.
That's gonna be a big fat no.
No.
All right. You begin to, or you continue, should I say, to sink in the water. Did I roll that good? Nope, I did not. Roll it when I tell you to roll it. Thank you. All right, so that nothing's happening yet. Oh, it was an 8 before. That's fine. All right, so this then brings us to Motley, who arrives with both of your axe beaks.
Oh, good. 'Cause we're
He-
probably gonna be needing both.
Oh yeah, he tells Delbwyn to quickly tie them off, and the axe beaks can hopefully pull them out. Syrah, you are in the water.
I am, sir. I'm cold. Can I assume I'm at the surface? Because
Yes.
I was just like pulled in.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
not,
at the
like,
surface. You haven't been dragged under yet.
So it's just a question of swimming through these frigid waters to that there rock there.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what I would like to do.
All right, make an athletics check as you swim over to the rock. I presume you're not holding the rope anymore?
No, because I'm assuming that I got pulled in and that I would have
Yeah.
released.
Yep. Makes sense. Beautiful. All right. You quickly swim over and scamper yourself onto the rock. Thankfully, you do so before you need to make any further saving throws against the cold. You drag yourself onto the rock as a move action. You do still have your standard. If you want to do anything else.
Are Kilmer and Ulfgar still submerged, or are they at the top of the water now?
Ulfgar is submerged. Kilmarin is also submerged. Both of them are. Kilmarin is 5 foot below. Ulfgar is about 10 foot below, I'd say.
All right, and because I had a hold of the rope when I felt the weight pull, I'd have a sense of direction, and I would like to cast the cantrip light over that direction.
All right. The light actually works in your favor. It shows the crystal clear waters around. Can I have Ulfgar make me another perception check, this time with advantage?
So I have clicked the advantage button.
Yep.
And perception. 11. That's the best I've gotten in some time.
All right. Well, as this happens... All right. One moment. Here we go. Under the water, as you are holding your breath, very quickly you're hearing the thrumming of your own blood rushing into your head as you are floating amidst these icy chunks. You look at your hands and you can see the lake freezing at this massive temperature is slowly causing ice to sort of cling to your arm hairs. This is not good. You do not have much left in the tank. But nearby from where you are, you see something. You see a glowing Rime blue icicle in the water, hanging in place. You recognize it to be the sword that the Phantom was using.
I would like to grab that.
All right, I need you to make an athletics check as you attempt to swim over to it.
Ooh.
Oh,
Now
double high numbers.
Now you're now you're a boss. Treasure!
I am a dwarf.
All right. Swimming across over, you reach out and you grab hold of the sword. As the blade touches your hands, it feels unearthly. You feel an unearthly cold from it. But while you can feel that unearthly cold from the blade, you no longer feel the cold from the ice around you. While you are wielding the weapon known as Frostbite, hang on, let me. I wrote this down. I made this thing.
Immune to cold?
Not quite. You're unaffected by freezing temperatures, meaning that you are immune to the effects of the cold weather and ice, for example. You could still be struck by magical cold from like spells and abilities, etc. But for the purposes of natural cold, you are immune to the effects.
This makes Ulfgar happy.
Yeah.
Would you say it makes him warm inside?
He's got a very nice feeling of warmth welling out from within.
A form of warmth, but not really the warmth.
A feeling of not coldness.
Feeling of not coldness. I'm glad that we're in a game that we get to practice, expanding upon our vocabularies. Not coldness is now being added to my repertoire of things. Yes, you have a great sense of not coldness. As Ulfgar, you grab onto these. Motley is helping Debwin. Sira, that was your light spell that you have cast, which brings us to Kilmarin.
Kilmarin would like to continue to make his way out of the water, not really understanding why Ulfgar seems to have temporarily resisted against the rescue attempt. I'm on the verge of casting Burning Hands on the water itself, like in the water, like the effect of like when a kid pees in the pool.
All of 0.2 seconds of warmth.
Yeah, just the 0.2 seconds. But again, the point being making my way out of this.
All right, make an athletics check.
Okay. With great disadvantage.
All right, you pull yourself to the surface of the water as you grasp for air. You may make another athletics check to pull yourself onto the rock as you have breached the surface. Hey, what a roll. All right.
Damn.
You pull yourself happily onto this rock. Yeah, it's cold, you're wet, you're miserable, but you don't need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Awesome.
All right.
Gasp. And turn.
Ulfgar.
All right. So Ulfgar, in the bright light, having grasped this frosty icicle weapon and feeling suffused with the sense of not coldness, it's going to continue to hang on to the rope and head for the surface and up and out. So I'm assuming athletics check.
Yes, please.
Remarkable.
Oh boy.
All right. You continue to sink. You are now 15 foot below the surface of the water.
No. Glug.
He was right there.
All right. Debwin. I think I forgot. I think I missed your turn for some reason.
Somehow. But that's fine, since it would just be getting the rope on the birds.
Axe beaks. Yep. All right. Make
Axe
a
beaks?
survival check as you coax the axe beaks into, mushing. Go, axe beaks. Save our friend.
Oh, hey.
Nice. All right. Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
All right. The axe beaks immediately mush, pulling on the rope. Ulfgar, you're grabbing onto the rope. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm still hanging on to it.
Okay. With a thrust and a pull, Ulfgar is flung clean out of the water.
Toss the dwarf.
Is he holding the sword a little off like the lady at the lake?
I mean, I guess.
Yes, I am.
Jesus.
One
Well,
hand
you,
on the rope, the other hand holding the sword.
well, you look magnificent. So
And,
as
I can fly! Boom!
as you fly forward with a glowing sword in hand, you land in the ice. Everyone is cold. Everyone is shaking as the speaker arrives. She looks you up and down and says, "Are you all right?"
No. I'm very, very cold.
You there!
What?
She yells
What
at
was that?
She yells at a couple of the civilians. You there! Fetch the healers quickly! You watch as the two of the civilians that were climbing across the bridge that Sierra had made nod at the speaker and quickly run off. That was reckless. That was foolish.
To be fair, that was also unexpected. We were simply trying to rescue those caught on the ice, and I mean, does this happen on the regular?
No, not since you and your friends arrived in town.
You're welcome.
All right. She looks at you and she says, "Well, I think a proper discussion needs to be made." You watch as the last bits of the lake start to freeze over yet again. The cracking and the snapping of the ice suddenly dissipates and is replaced with the sound of the howling wind. It almost looks as though the lake was never disturbed. As Speaker, what's her name again? Speaker Edgra takes you to her lodge. Now, unless there's a reason you do not wish to go with her, she will lead you to the lodge and a warm fire.
I think we definitely need to talk to her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Kilmarin is definitely going.
Did the people who stole my rope, are they still there? Because if I walk past them, I want to get it back.
You do see some of them in the town as you walk past. They do not put up a fight. They give you your rope. They thought you were dead. So you do get your rope back from these civilians.
Good. We now have back to the
Thanks.
full amount of rope that we've had.
That's right.
All 50 feet of that hempen.
Hey, gotta keep a hand on your rope, man.
See, that goes on a t-shirt now. All right. So you make your way into the speaker's hut. A rather ramshackled-looking trapper's hut with several pelts and skins that seem to be lining the walls. You can also see that there's a strong smell of various herbs that are used to burn in order to quaff the smell of death that comes from the cutting tables and the like. She leads you over by what looks to be a beautifully adorned bone and leather chair, which she offers you to sit on a couch that is opposing said chair. A fire is very quickly lit by the speaker, who says, "You couldn't leave well enough alone, could you?"
Apparently not. Could you elaborate?
Well, to elaborate, your presence here was not wanted, and I told you to leave matters regarding the children as it were. Everything that happens in this town goes through me, and I know that you have been asking about the whereabouts and speaking with that old coot in the hospice. We may be many things here in the edges of 10 towns, but we are not fools.
I don't know that anything we've done would indicate that we thought you were fools. but children were missing. Children have been found.
You found the children?
We found 2 of them. And we found a very, very, very angry mammoth. And I think we have some things to discuss, particularly regarding some information that we may have uncovered. And Ulfgar had taken the scrimshaw, and he's going to pull that back out, particularly regarding this.
The speaker moves over and takes the scrimshaw from you, looking at it over carefully. The great giant Garagai. His tale goes back generations, and this town, its people, are a part of this story. I don't know what you're implying by bringing this story to light. But the children should not have been rescued. When they were set upon the wilderness, it was their duty to the town to do so.
So
Did
you
they
are
go
sending...
willingly? I'm gonna pull my hair, my long black hair, while I'm doing this. I'm wringing it out as it's not thawed, so the water's
Oh, no, there's no water that comes out. It's literally just fistfuls of, like, snow. That
ice.
Just, yeah.
All right,
Just,
more pulling that.
Delvin will use prestidigitation on the iced over parts to warm.
yeah. So basically this steam just comes off you. Of course not. Who would willingly cast themselves into this horrible weather? I mean, I feel as though you and your companions understand all too well that it is all but a certain death sentence. No. No, they were not willing. But sacrifices must be made. Our forebears understood this.
Oh, wait, so there's been an agreement for generations that how often do you send children?
What? No. You misunderstand. I do not understand what the children have to do with Garagai. Garagai is dead.
Garagai is dead. Garagai's mammoth is not.
Quite alive.
The mammoth from the tail? It still lives?
It still lives, and it still is angry. And that is where the children were.
And it will destroy all of 10 towns.
Then it is the mammoth to blame. Yes, that makes sense. If the mammoth is still alive, no wonder the hero of Redwater has arisen. It makes perfect sense.
The hero of Redwater.
Yes. Dugan's Hole was founded many, many years ago. It is the smallest of 10 towns. But we are the bulwark that lie at the edge of all the 10 towns. We don't receive help. We don't receive any kind of aid. We look after each other, and family and blood runs deep here. The hero of Redwater's name was lost to the records. Apparently, the family did not wish for their name to become synonymous with the story and the tales. But I remember my grandfather telling it, about how he stood as tall as 12 Goliath, and how he went toe-to-toe with the frost giant Garagai, and the giant mammoth beast that traveled with him. The children have nothing to do with Garagai, and this is my first hearing of the mammoth still being alive. No, the town has a very rich history of tradition. I'm sure by now you have noticed that many of the townsfolk have what's called Dugan's teeth. As she opens her jaw, you can see inside us are basically just pointed teeth.
We noticed that, yes, and we noticed, and I flipped the scrimshaw over the back, a possible explanation. If this speaks true, it's one thing to defeat your foes, but to devour them after they have been slain, there is no honor in that. There is no reason in that. That is madness.
If you do not see reason, Master Dwarf, then you have not seen desperation. The story does not start with the fight against the giant, but before. The giant claimed dominion over this land when our forebears first came to settle. We strived and we struggled. Our people had their livestock slain time upon time by the giant and the mammoth, taken as tribute, leaving the people little but scraps to eat and survive. Malnourished and dying were the people of Dugan's Hole. We fought back against the giant. We did. In his fortress, filled with all of his ill-gotten gain, we fought back. And my grandfather, in fact everyone's grandparents, turned upon the giant. But the hunger that consumed them was turned against the giant. A death befitting his own cause. He starved the town that would inevitably come to feast upon his flesh. So we understand what sacrifice looks like. We understand what desperation and times of strife will wrought.
But why turn your backs on the children?
We are here yet again, at a time of desperation. Dugan's Hold relies upon the waters, but they have frozen over, and the fish, well, the ice is so thick we can barely reach any fertile ground. The people are hungry, and they are uncertain of what the future may lie. Without aid from the other towns, a decision needed to be made. I am sure by now you have heard the rumors surrounding Auriel, the Frostmaiden, and how the storms and the ice above Icewind Dale are in some part her doing.
I've heard the tales.
I clutch my amulet, my symbol of the light, and I look at her and I say, yes, I have.
We've all heard the tales. But tell me, when in the history of any man, dwarf, elf, has sacrificing children ever brought any good? Tell me, when has that succeeded? Whatever Auriel wants, I do not think that it is to send your children off into the cold to die. That is not what she is seeking.
These words ring heavily. You speak as if you believe. We do not wish to sacrifice our children. We are not monsters. As I said, family here runs deeper than the blood of any other members of 10 towns.
How long have you been doing these sacrifices?
A few weeks.
And how were they chosen?
The children were chosen by lottery. The bones, as she points at some of the rabbits that have been killed here. You actually see that the rabbits, now that you're getting a good look, have almost no meat on them. They likely died of starvation before they were caught.
And have your waters warmed? Are your fish plentiful?
No. But we believe that it is because the Ice Maiden tests us. If you wish to know where we have heard of these sacrifices being successful, then seek out the town. Pardon me. Then seek out Targos.
Tagos.
Kilmarin scoffs at that.
Sierra makes a little note.
And what makes you think that Targos was successful?
Sorry, let me just make sure it is Targos.
Sierra scratches out the little note.
Did you say tacos? Tacos? What was that?
Tacos.
Burritos. He meant burritos. No.
What's a burrito?
Yum.
It's the 11th town.
You take a flatbread.
11th town.
Town of Targos and tacos and burritos.
Look at your fancy tankard.
All right.
Very nice.
Oh, that's dope.
All right. Sorry, I do apologize. I need to just very
You're all
quickly.
good.
Quite all right. We're chitter chattering.
Yeah,
among ourselves.
chitter chatter. I need to just go over my notes.
I'm warming by the fire, knocking off some exhaustion,
Hey,
drying
DM
out.
Stretch. Hello.
Hey,
And about
Stretch,
to
how you
with
doing?
some prestidigitation can get some that ice taken care of on anyone that has it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just like a
Strangely
little
Preserve
enough.
the beard.
Strangely enough,
Preserve
Kilmarin
the
also has that cantrip. He's just so freaking cold and exhausted he hasn't thought to use it.
One of the most useful cantrips that people don't seem to realize.
Here you go.
Very useful.
Can make warm water skin water. Just takes a few casts.
I can set you on fire.
I was actually very tempted to use heat metal.
I too can. Firebolt can make you really warm.
Burning hands might bring down the house.
Just a little
Use Mage Hand to put some more logs on the fire.
Very nice. Speaking of which.
bit. Speaking of a fire,
Pretty awesome. I was curious if that was decorative or not.
No,
Yes.
it's real. Quite real.
All right, yes. It is definitely Targos.
Tagos.
Then Kilmarin's question stands. What makes you think it was so successful? Has their town improved?
Yes. We have heard that they have managed to fend off against snowstorms and the like, and that they have started to restore some measure of control over the ice.
As of what time? How recent?
Within the month.
Do we know that this is not just mere coincidence?
How am I to say?
I don't know, but
What
your,
is-
your
As someone who is clearly of the cloth, you should understand the benefit of a little faith.
I think you
Swish.
Yeah, okay, I get your faith, but my faith is in life and the sanctity of life. And no good comes from I take pains to preserve it unless it threatens the sanctity of other life. I sacrifice of life. It's brought
I can tell you that I've
it's
come from
superstitious.
Targos. Targos is my hometown, and the town is full of rapscallions, and I believe a criminal leads the town. I despise him. And he moves to spit, but withholds it. Doesn't want to insult the hostess.
Just spit into the fire, you'll be fine.
You speak of Speaker Nerith.
I do.
Well, I certainly don't see eye to eye with his sort and his pursuit of money. He has never been one to perform such acts of ritualistic murder. At least, not unless they were certain of something. This is what brought me to my conclusion as well. And our town is too small. We cannot bear a brunt like their towns. Remembering that, of course, Dugan's Hole, which is where you're at, is only a town of 50 people. It is barely a town. It's not even a spit.
Then I would say that you don't have the people to spare. 2 children could represent a generation.
Well, we also can't sit idle and allow our people to simply die without doing anything. The children will have died if things continue in this manner.
But what if fates were to have intervened in the form of us? Those children were set out. You did your sacrifice. They were led to the mammoth, and we brought them back. Now what? Perhaps that's fate.
Yes, about that. Fate has indeed driven you towards the mammoth, and now we learn that the mammoth is not only alive, but has been thriving. You're right. You and your friends have been a boon. And sacrificing the children was worth it, if it meant sending you out there and having you find what you did. For that I am grateful.
Not really sure that's the correct lesson to draw.
That is my takeaway, because I am taking that away. Sacrificing children works, because heroes go and save them, and now we have a thing. It is not much, but please, take this. We have no need of it. You are handed a bag of coin. Each bag contains about 10 gold pieces for each of you, including Motley.
Well,
okay.
I appreciate it. But what about the mammoth? What are your intents there?
We will take care of the mammoth. It is ours to deal with.
I look around the room at the others.
Motley says, I am very tired.
I thought it was his snoring. It was just his flute.
Ulfgar looks
quite tired
thoughtful.
as well.
Yes, I could really use a nap.
For like 2 days or more.
Well, feel free to stay as long as you would like.
It's much appreciated.
She assigns you an abandoned building to use as as a place to rest. There are plenty of them, as again several families and stuff like that have simply died out over the time in Dugan's Hole. Now, we are going to go into our downtime sequence. it is going to be 4 days, and you're going to restore your exhaustion.
Hooray!
Now, over the course of the 4 days, what is the intention of the group? What do you wish to? What do you wish to do in that period of time?
All right, so Ulfgar has some things that he's going to want to do. He's going to attune to this weapon. First off,
That would be easy to do on the first day.
yeah, and if I recall, you said it can take the form of whatever weapon I happen to want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So I am going to have, as I attune, I'm going to concentrate on a warhammer.
You watch as the handle that you hold suddenly melts the ice that formed the blade, and you watch as this crystal blue ice starts to take the form of a hilt that then leads into this large, heavy warhammer.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna shape that into a warhammer. I'm going to spend some time fussing with my armor. And Ulfgar is an armorer, and he's going to do patching, do working on it, attend to it with his smith's tools, and when he's done, the scales look shinier than they did before. There's almost sort of a glow, more metallic about them, a little bit of arcane aspect to it, as I will turn my scale mail into Guardian Arcane Armor. And then I either want to purchase a leather satchel, or I am proficient in leatherworking, make a leather satchel. And since I now have a magic weapon, I'm going to take the infusion off of my mace, and I'm going to turn a bag into a bag of holding using my replicate magic item infusion.
Nice.
And I'm going to spend a lot of time in front of the fire, drinking hot cocoa and warming myself.
All right, Syrah, what are you doing over the course of the 4 days?
I would like to visit Finn, and I'm sorry, I forgot the little girl's name. It's like Saoirse or something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Finn and Saoirse.
As you seek them out, they're both currently staying with foster people, right? These are not the couple that you left them with, but with a different group who are not their parents. The two explain that their parents didn't really want them, and so they were abandoned at a young age. The whole town itself kind of acts as their surrogate family. So this day they're staying with the Hendersons, who are these people. But next month they may stay with the Ridleys, who are over the road. They thank you again for saving them, and saying that the mammoth, of course, had such ill intent with them. They saw the mammoth crush and kill people before. To be spared this fate, they're very, very, very grateful.
I asked them if is that what happened to the other children, or do you know?
She, the Syrah looks and says, I don't know. I didn't see the mammoth kill any children specifically, but I know that several other kids around our age were sent into the snow.
And the wolves, do you know if they work with the mammoth?
Finn says, yeah, they found us. They were the ones that found us in the wilderness and took us. We thought that they were people at first. They looked like people. But then when we got to the fortress, they changed into the large wolves and drove us into the cages.
Okay. Be brave. And I sort of give them each a little hug.
They give you a hug
Aw.
back. Little tiny hugs with their little tiny hands. All right. Kilmarin, what are you doing over the next 4 days?
Well, it is 4 days, so I might just casually pal around with Ulfgar a little bit, but I do want to find some time to spin off also towards the children. I have a different intent than Sierra. I want to check in. I want to say this carefully. I want to check in more on their well-being. Parents who rejected them, and then a village who offered them up as sacrifice, knowing that as young children they might not really fully understand that, and I know what that feels like, and just try to empathetically relate to them and like a mental check. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Make an insight check as you check in on the well-being of the kids.
Okay. My character sheet has gone missing, so I have to just find my guy back
Well,
again.
it should be right there.
If you double-click on your character portrait on the top left, you should be able to open the sheet.
There it is. I made it go hide.
Good job.
Insight. Let's go. Almost was a history check. But there
All right.
we have it.
With an 11, it's hard to say. They seem to be putting on a brave face, but it's almost as if they've given up. They know the circumstances that they grow up in, and they kind of feel as though they themselves are a pain and a bother to the town itself. Though the adults will never say it and never make them feel that way, it is difficult for them not to feel as though they are preying upon the kindness of others. When they found out that they were going into the wilderness, you kind of get the insight that they weren't unhappy with that. Almost as if after a long time, they could finally do something for the people that had cared for them and showed them love. You don't get much more than that.
So I want to let them know that they did do the town. In other words, they brought value to the town, and they bring value to each other, and let them know that it's most important that they look out for each other. And I'm going to give them the 10 gold that I received and tell them to very carefully tuck that away somewhere and to hold on to that. That if they need to at some point leave, that they need to some point take care of themselves, that they can have that to do that.
All right. Then Ulfgar comes in with his hammer and just belts them for like 2 damage.
Sorry, I for some reason one of my map slots had dice in it.
I used my reaction, hellish rebuke.
Oh, schnock.
Get out of here, snappers.
That was hilarious. Get out of here, you damn merchants! Jesus. Sorry. For those of you
Stand on my forge.
for those of you who are listening and not watching the screen, as we were in the middle of that combat, Ulfgar rolled some damage dice, and we don't know why, so we assumed that he's just trying to smack the children. Okay, so the children have difficulty accepting that amount of money.
Perhaps
Okay,
then just some of it.
make a persuasion check.
Yeah. Or maybe I can, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You do manage to persuade them, and eventually they will accept the 10 gold. They say that they don't want to leave Dugan's Hold, but if they ever have to, they'll keep it aside so that they can, if need be. Though, again, given the nature of the town, they would basically still need to have at least walk to Goodmead, which is a good few hours walk for the children in the snow with wolves. So, I mean, we'll see. All right. Delwyn, our
Hello.
canine friend, what do we, what do you wish to do for the 4 days of downtime?
How does the weather hold? The terror's on how
Like absolute garbage. It is cloudy overhead, so no sunlight is coming through. It is snowing almost constantly. Because you are at the edge of the 10 towns, the waters that seem to come in and waft down from the spine of the world, which is the mountain range that is to the south of you, just blows like such a chill down your spine. In fact, you can even do this as an experiment. Some people can actually take water from inside out and actually
I know exactly what you're talking about.
and pour it, and as they pour it, it freezes midstream.
Or you can turn it into powder.
Powder, yeah, the boiling water trick.
But no, the reason why I was asking of like any like harsher, colder moments in the day is what I was more referring to.
Nah, it's just always super cold.
Yeah. So it's not as bad as it was when we got back. Got it.
Yeah.
What Delbin is going to be doing on the first day is actually going to the 20 Stones of Frun and playing a kind of somber tone. It's like, despite what they've done, didn't deserve the way they died.
All right. Let's move you there then. All right. I do apologize. I don't really have appropriate music, but I'm
All good.
gonna try for.
Bagpipes?
Yeah, look, this is the most Scottish.
Go for flute.
What are you playing, Delbo in Scotland the Brave?
Yeah, this is the most Scottish. This is the most Scottish thing I have.
I say switch to flute.
Hold on, wait. Give it a second.
You tell him to switch to flute, he's gonna put some Jethro Tull on.
Cast minor illusion to turn the strings, the guitar, into flute.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know if you realize we don't really have too many flutes. Okay, let's see. Maybe.
You'll have to record your own tracks and bring them next week.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh God, if only I had a flute.
All right,
I actually would.
Okay, let's try this.
This one time, and Frost.
A guy made his own flute records.
All right, that's nope. I got nothing. I got violins. I got bass.
Anything that works with like mellow tone, at least, that would fit. We could use our imagination.
Can we? You tell me. All right.
5 tracks later, we'll use our imagination.
All right, there you go.
Are you... We're going to do Lonesome Boatman, or?
Give it a second. Give it a second. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Yeah. All right. Moving to the south of town, you come to 20 Stones of Thrun. A circle that has been made surrounding a plinth with a stone in the center of it. These stone structures are as mysterious as Stonehenge. It is the only interesting figure, and you can see that these menhirs, as they're called, are roughly triangular in shape, with a single stone sitting at the center of its formation that has what looks to be a kind of like a divot in it. You can see that in the center there's a plaque there that has the name Dugan Dubras, the name of the person who had founded this fishing village. And according to the old legends, he was one of the original northern folk who had settled this lands. Some say that Thrun was a god that Dugan had worshipped, and this was a circle dedicated to his worship. Others believe that this place bound an elemental spirit long ago, whereas you guys know that apparently the heart of a frost giant is buried here.
I'm not going to dig that up.
No. But she is, however, going to be playing her flute. She is using prestidigitation so she doesn't freeze her fingers on the cold on the flute itself.
Yeah, basically, so let me put it this way. To do that, you'd be playing your flute, and then every now and then you'd just be, like, stopping and casting a verbal and somatic spell, and then continuing, and then stopping.
I mean, isn't the verbal part able to be used through the instrument with a bard?
No, because you're casting a spell.
Okay.
So there's a literal magic word.
Got it. But it lasts for an hour, so it's not as bad.
Yeah. Alright. So, the 4 days go by. The town itself seems to be stirring and moving, a little bit busier than it was when you'd first arrived. Now, as you are now rested and recuperated by the 4th day, you see that a large group of individuals have gathered outside of town. Your wagon and the like is ready for for wherever you would like to go next. But you can see that people seem to be planning an expedition of some kind.
Kill the mammoth.
A celebration is gathered around the around what looks to be a large wagon filled with spears, traps, and the like. A happy and merry tone seems to be over people as they pull out butcher's knives, cutlasses, and the like.
Ugh, God.
Is that Wolf Fellow still in town?
Yes, he is.
So he was in hospice before. Is he somewhere else?
He wasn't. He's still in the hospice.
So, I will go. Ulfgar is going to go and have a little chat with him and say to him to let Norsu know that those responsible are coming to meet him. And they alone should sate his vengeance if that's what he wants.
All right.
And we will consider our task to Norsu done.
The white-haired individual says, "I do not wish to return to Nosu. As I said when we had previously met, my association with them is limited, to say the least, but I'm sure that your message can be passed. I am actually on my way to leaving this town. There is bloodlust in the air, and it is thick, and I know when it is time to leave. If I were you...
think you have...
I was going to say, if I were you, I would also consider doing the same thing.
I think that we are, and I think you have a good sense of it, and all that we ask of you is that that message is passed along, and that it goes no further between Norsu and the 10 towns than whatever may happen in these next few days.
This I cannot promise, but I will pass message.
I think I don't expect you to be able to promise it, but the message can be passed. That's all that either of us can do.
He puts the final adjustments to his backpack before placing it onto his shoulders. He nods and tips his Ushanka at you. Till we meet again, friends.
Till we meet again, may your journeys be safe.
You watch as he begins to head out into the wilderness, stepping away from the hospice and into the snow. As the wind begins to pick up, you watch as a wall of snow obscures him for a moment, but then he disappears, and in its place is a large white wolf that then runs into the snow.
All right. Ulfgar is gonna speak to his friends, and I think we've overstayed our welcome here. I don't think there's anything else we need to do with this town, and I'm happy to see the back of it.
I'm happy to take leave of the town as well. They've been gracious hosts for a few days, but I would also agree with you. It's our time to move on.
I'm going to take a little pit stop at Stonehenge because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that we have to pass that way on our way out anyway.
Only if you want to go into the wilderness.
The little stone circle to the
South.
the south of town is not.
So I've just shared the map there of 10 towns, which I will now share with our lovely audience. There we go. So as you can see, the group is currently... okay, we can turn off the creeps. Thank you. No more spoopies, please. Thank you. Alright, so our group is currently residing in the town of Dugan's Hole, which is... What the hell is that? That is not a circle.
That is an amazing shape.
What in the world?
You've got all the shapes.
It's indeed.
It's a nonagon. Nope. It's a...
It only knows
It's now a pentagon.
Though.
Now it's a
extra
triangle.
triangles.
But that is
No,
where
that's
we are.
Pentagon again, but that's okay. I like.
It's whatever
well,
polyhedron
fine.
you want.
You know what?
There. That's where we are.
I mean, that
like
works.
that.
Okay, so currently the group is there. They have been to Goodmead prior, and that is where they've traveled. So they've made their
And
way
we
here.
originated in Bryn Shander. We met up in Bryn Shander, if I'm correct.
That is where
Yes.
you guys originally came from. Yeah.
Okay,
I
great.
think we should head back to Bryn Shander, though. Unless we want to. I mean, where do we? I don't want to go to Targos. Targos. I don't
I
want to
think
go
nothing
there.
but bad news ends up in Targos.
Well, and you were most recently from there, and we'd have to stop at Bryn Shander on the way. Do we wish to go to East Haven? What is our objective, even at this point?
So we had come to investigate the weird sounds. So quick question from Ulfgar. When he had his vision from the Frostmaiden and she said, "Come and find me," did she impart any sort of direction that one might head to find her?
No, she did not.
All right. So
Oh
she
my
just-
God, have you become an acolyte?
Maybe.
I have. I was just thinking if he had any idea where to head.
Right.
As far as going to East Haven, was there anything that was drawing us there in particular?
Well, it's more information.
I was just looking at the points within reach and travel time. We could always go back to Goodmead.
Well, to get to East Haven, we'd have to pass through Goodmead. We could check on the folks, see how they're doing, and certainly push on to East Haven if that's what I'm hearing.
Or Brinchender or Termine if we want to go farther. But we're going to have to go through Goodmead and Brinchender and
I'll be right back.
Targos to get there.
I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to discuss your own personal objectives. Yeah, and strategize. I will return momentarily.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, crew, what shall we do? All right. He's gone. We can say whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want. The game is ours. Everyone roll D20s. But East Haven does sound like a good option. It's got several towns along the lake, Dinshare that lie above.
We don't want to go to Caer Dineval or Caer Konig yet, I feel.
So do we recall any offers of business or anything that was pointing us in any particular direction, or are we just still on vacation?
None whatsoever, actually.
If I may.
You may.
And I'm sorry I haven't been more forthcoming. I'm here because I want to understand this darkness.
How so?
It's vacation, yes, but it's also not vacation. The sun has not really risen upon this land for years. And I am, for what it's worth, I am pledged to the light. And I must try to understand why it no longer graces this land.
Are you from the 10 Towns? I don't know that I ever asked you.
I am not. I have adopted this area, though, as my own. I was sent here not long before the darkness fell. I was out of place where I was before. And here, it doesn't matter what you look like or what you are. People just accept you.
Well, they accept you as you're alive. And if you're alive, you're better than not.
This is true.
The theme of the 10
Especially-
Towns is pure life. It's I grew up here, as I said, and it's home, but it is a treacherous home. I can
And
only imagine life south.
it's too cold to bother with fussing about what people look like or up here.
Where I
Hold
come
your
from,
own.
it's so hot that you can see the air shimmer with it.
I can't even hardly imagine. But what of the Caer Dineval, Caer Konig? You said not perhaps there. Those weren't of the best spots to think about moving.
I was warned off of that, and I don't know why, but I feel our search needs to be concentrated in the larger towns for now.
I'm
Well,
perfectly happy to head to East Haven if we think that will give us some information. Provided
East Haven.
we fill up our flasks at Goodmead before we go.
That does sound like a good plan. As you mentioned it, hopefully the hall is open and functioning fully again as we passed.
We
Go
can
back. Be nice to
let
check
them
in
know.
on them.
Yeah, and we can let them know what's going on in Dugan's Hole and warn them that if they are unable to sate the fury of the mammoth, good meat is next, and they should be prepared. Perhaps spread the word about.
That seems
Absolutely.
like a worthy idea.
So East Haven then. Dublin?
East Haven.
I agree. More information would be better. Potentially giving us an idea of where we could go for why this is being eternally winter.
Certainly stumbled across a few interesting hints towards it, but nothing to solidify any suspicions.
Yeah. Now, at some
Potentially, the
point,
information
yeah.
we have could be answered at East Haven as well.
Perhaps.
At some point during our downtime, Ulfgar would have confided in his compatriots what he experienced underneath the ice. With the caveat that he is not sure whether it was some sort of divine intervention or a near-death hallucination, but he felt the Frostmaiden reach out to him, and he wants to find her. Not just because she asked, but for the answers.
Strange omen.
Strange, but I am alive, and I feel I should not be. Don't get me wrong.
It wasn't because of my mighty dive into the water with the rope.
I do appreciate that, but I felt before I fell, that should perhaps have been the end of me. He looks at Frostbite, holds it in his hand, contemplative. This was once a sword, and I felt this in my breast. Now I wield it. Why? I don't know. I hope to put it to better use than that undead phantom, whatever shadow of the past that struck out at us. Is it a sign? Is it a portent? Is it destiny? These aren't things that I usually think about. But I feel I have more chances than I did before, and I want to understand why. We can help others while I help to find them, all the better.
I'll nod contemplatively back at you in agreement. Perhaps more than just chance has brought us together, then. Perhaps we can help the 10 towns understand the Frostmaiden, what this curse is. Perhaps we are in a unique position.
All right. Discussing your plans and sharing your feelings for one another, you find yourselves preparing for your journey to East Haven. The Axebeaks are cared for and well fed. What little food still remains in Dugan's Hold is unfortunately unavailable, meaning that you guys are a little hungry on the day of your departure. Leaving behind the town, the only ones to bid you farewell are the children. The rest begin their process of leaving on an expedition to the south. To their doom or to their survival, we have no idea of knowing. But your first destination will be to Goodmead, and for that, your journey is relatively easy, safe and secure.
For a change.
Safe and secure.
For the first time.
For now.
You will take the 4 hours that'll take to arrive at Goodmead, where you are greeted in the streets by very familiar faces who have seen you a couple of times this last few weeks. They wave at you, and a few people thank you for obviously returning the mead. Some very particularly happy drunks that are nearby as well. In addition, you see that there is a very large giant blocking the road. He seems to be
Duke! Sorry.
It's you. Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. I've managed to talk with the people of Dugan, of Goodmead, and they want me to sell my goat cheese here.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I'm so glad.
Well, it was in no small thanks to, of course, yourself, showing me that, of course, I was in a bit of a toxic relationship, and that I need to start learning how to love myself before I can find other people to see the value in who I am as an individual, and then pursue a more positive relationship.
That's right, Duke. You deserve to be loved.
I do. I've been offered to build a small cheese making factory just over by my caves. I actually bring some samples in for the town every now and then. Yeah, have one of these on the house. He reaches into his pouch, and in his hand it's like a fist size, but for you it's about a wheel, about the size of a halfling. Of some goat cheese that he has been making for the past week and a half. He says, it's still not quite right. I mean, the longer that you wait for the cheese, the better it is. So this is quite a runny cheese. So
it's more like chèvre, instead of like a manchego.
Correct.
Okay.
It's not sharp. It's very creamy, and very, very delicious. Ooh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the Odd Bandicoot. First of all, it's always wonderful to see you, Bandicoot. But secondly, Odd Bandicoot has just earned their 1K bit badge. So thank you so much, and enjoy your bit badge. Yay! That's amazing. I didn't even know there were bit badges, but there it is, and you have one.
All right. So, while Sierra is talking to Duke, Ulfgar is going to look around on the ground and find a small, well, big for him, but small for Duke, stone that he can fit in his hand. And I'm going to use magical tinkering and record a message on it. And I'm going to hand it to Duke. And I'm going to say, Duke, this is for you. Whenever you're feeling down, you just squeeze this rock and you'll hear words of encouragement. Oh. And what it's going to say is, when he squeezes it, what it will say is, my name is Duke.
Well, before you say that, he turns to it and he puts it to his ear, and you just hear this.
I accepted that completely.
All right, I can try it again.
He looks at Ulfgar and goes, "I love it."
That's fantastic.
And he keeps it. He puts it in a little jar. He puts it in a little jar, and then he puts a little cap on the jar, and he makes a little necklace out of it.
Oh.
Hey, that works.
It's the first gift I've ever gotten from someone.
This makes me want to give Duke all the things.
Thank you. So you watch as
Glad you're doing well, Duke.
You borderline bring the giant to tears as he's just no one's ever got me anything. I know that, well, we've only just met and you helped me out with my relationship troubles, but really, this is just too much. I'm sorry. It seems to be raining in my face as he just wipes his cheeks. I'd like to take a quick moment here, ladies and gentlemen, to pause our game and welcome in our dear friends, the Mercs of Mischief. What is up? How are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never checked out the Mercs of Mischief, please do so. Do yourselves a favor. They are a wonderful group of collaborative storytellers who gather together some amazing people in order to go on a whirlwind of shenanigans, good times, good adventures. One of the major GMs there is my good friend Puck, who runs a very, very awesome game. So go check them out. In addition, they also play with such amazing characters as Dingo from Dingo Doodles, Joe Cat. I've been there a couple of times. Recently, both myself and the Mad Maker, who is one of the producers over at the Mercs of Mischief, were kind of did a charity stream on Saturday. So again, wonderful people, good spirit, good heart. And please give them all of your love and support. And for those of you who have just joined us, welcome in. We are on the last leg of our stream today, but stick around. We will do some pretty cool stuff. If you want to, please check out our GM incentives. We will be adding stuff to the game for the next, say 10 minutes. 10 minutes is where we'll cut off. So we'll give you guys a little bit of extra stuff. Right now, our group of heroes, which involve Ulfgar, our dwarven artificer, Sira, our fire genasi cleric, Kilmarin, our tiefling warlock, and Delwyn, our half-elf rogue, have recently left a town known as Dugan's Hold, which they found out it was not a great place. They were sacrificing children to try and end the endless winter that seems to have been happening. But they've kind of managed to get out with, their persons intact. They've arrived at the town of Goodmead, where they had previously saved the town by returning some mead that was stolen by a giant named Doog, who the group managed to convince to become a cheesemaker. So Doog has just met up with them again, is fondly having their reunion before our heroes continue to the town of East Haven. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in Goodmead besides restock your tankards?
Restock tankards and food.
I'd like to check in on our friend Fen.
Fen?
Ranger.
Yep.
Fen?
No, Fen.
See how he's doing. And
oh yeah, no. Since you left, nothing really new has cropped up. Again, the relationship with Doog has been. It started a bit rocky because obviously he was the one responsible for killing the previous Seeker. But he has been helping do a lot in the way of like helping the builders and providing cheeses. And the town is slowly warming up to the giant and his presence. So yeah, they're reasonably happy. Very reasonably.
They were looking for a new speaker.
yes.
Did he?
Yes. Fen has been adopted as the new speaker. And he is currently acting in that role, at least until he thinks that someone else is going to be suitable for it. He has some self-doubt, but you have managed to alleviate that through your actions and your kind words. In addition,
I'll give him congratulations.
Oh, he thanks you deeply. He says, "Oh well, that is I can't forget it. I forgot his accent, but yes, he says that is too kind of you." And in addition, Doog has started to make friends with the Fey spirit that you dealt with in the forest as well. Okay.
Hey.
Do we as a group quickly tip him off without recapping everything, just as to the situation in Dugan's Hole, and that he might need to pay attention to word that comes up the line?
Yeah, he says, look, a mammoth is definitely a danger, but we can definitely keep an eye out on it. Thankfully, with Doog in town, we're hoping that might deter any mammoth incursion. So yeah, but thank you for letting us know. The people of Dugan's Hold are a bit strange, so we're not unaccustomed to that sort of thing.
You're not kidding.
All right. That's it? Just some humans? Okay, I guess.
Apparently so.
Some humans.
Some humans.
How mundane.
I love how there's like no details on this. Okay, cool. You begin your journey to East Haven. Now, East Haven is a grand total of 30 miles from where you are currently.
Hey.
So you're going to have to camp at the crossroads part way. Traveling through the traveling through the snow and the silt. Our heroes find themselves lost in thought. What could it mean, the Frostmaiden's vision to Ulfgar? Why would she come and save him in such a very flamboyant way? And of course, with the town of Dugan's Hold now effectively waging war upon the Mammoth, what future lies if the Druid is no longer able to exert any kind of control over the region that he considers to be the territory of his former master, Garagai? As these thoughts grip you, further up ahead, you see a small lantern. It seems to be kind of bending in the wind, almost as if attached to a reed or a rod. The snow begins to pick up and softly fall as you approach the light. What would you like to do?
Take a look
Don't
around.
go into the light.
Yeah, take a look around. See where the source of the light is. Is there anyone here nearby the light? Seems awful strange that there would be a light on its own.
All right. You make your way towards the light. And as you do so, you see a figure in what looks to be bright red robes. He has on his backpack like kind of some supplies for travel, and a huge, basically like an angler fishing rod with a lantern that just sort of hangs over his head as he holds and keeps his coat clutched. The figure walks in a trudging fashion. All right. As you approach, he seems to take notice of you. Do you stop or do you just sort of drive past him?
Stop. I gesture that we should stop. Hello.
Who's driving the wagon?
It's up to you. Who would like to be driving the wagon? I know it was Ulfgar before.
And Kumaran before that.
I'm happy to continue driving, or Ulfgar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who's the best cart driver of us, but
well, I was going to say
drive.
if okay, go ahead. Yeah, there you go.
I'm driving.
All right.
Yep, that's fine. Nope.
Good.
I was going to say, because if it was me, I was not going to stop. I would bring it to a very slow pace, though, but we would not fully stop. Kind of walk. But your call. I just influenced you.
All right.
Yes.
Or not.
Well, I'll
Sorry.
begin the process of stopping.
There we go.
And give it a little whoa to the axe beaks.
All right. The figure looks upon you, and you cannot see his features. He wears a kind of like a scarf over his mouth and a hood over his head, revealing only their eyes. He looks at you and the wagon, like kind of sizing you up almost, and says...
Is he traveling in the opposing direction or in the same?
He's traveling in the same direction.
Okay. So he sizes us up and says, I'm sorry.
And he says, "Safe travels, friend or foe?"
Friend, as long as you're a friend. Where are you headed?
I am headed to the town of East Haven. And what of yourselves?
The same.
Then perhaps I might trouble you. Would you have room for passage for an extra? I would, of course, be more than happy to compensate you for the inconvenience of my presence.
Can we detect, I mean, the fact that we can't see his face, I mean, it's cold, it's winter. Part of this seems normal to me, but part of this seems mysterious to me. Can you, as DM, kind of let me know, like, how much I think this is normal or not, that I can only see?
Make an insight check.
Everything's great.
Everything is awesome.
It's awesome.
Even though you can't see his face, his body language itself would give away anything, technically.
Well, we'll see how much the body... Did that roll? Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You get the impression that this person does not have any ill intent, but there is definitely an air of mystery about them. For example, most of the people in 10 Towns and in fact most of Icewind Dale wear lots of browns, blues, whites, just in general. But this man is walking around in bright red, which is bizarre. There is no like kind of royal cast, as it were, so things like reds and purples and things like that on clothes is not very common. As for the covering of his face and the like, no, it does look more like that's just his cold weather, more like this is just cold weather gear.
I turn to the group. What do you say?
Please join us and welcome.
Get away
the more the
from
merrier.
Chilling wind.
What is your name, sir?
As
I presume, sir.
You presume correctly. He reaches up his hand and asks for someone to sort of help him onto the wagon.
Reaches down.
As he steps on, he says, "Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nikos, and I am traveling to East Haven in order to find some friends of mine." And that is where we are going to leave today's session.
You.
All right.
I knew that was going to happen.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling.
All right. Thank
Milk
you.
him for as much as you can.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the random encounter table didn't actually give me much in the way of inspiration. So I was like, human. Yeah. So
There you go. You got a cardinal.
Yes, that was it. So I decided, why not? All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and joining us. Thank you, of course, to our wonderful raiders from the Mercs of Mischief, as well as all of you awesome people who have stuck through the whole game. To all of the people who donated, subscribed, and the like. Again, guys, I feel your love every single time I run games. Thank you so much for inspiring me to continue doing this awesome thing that I'm doing. Let's do a memorable moments from today for everyone, and then we'll go and raid someone for the night. So let's start in reverse order this time. Debwin, what was your memorable moment for today?
I'll have to say my memorable moment would have to be oh geez, what was it again? I just lost it.
Not that memorable then.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of like when you forget that you were supposed to do it, must not have been important. I would have to say the struggle would have been a good memory of this session, of just getting people out of the water.
Yeah, that was definitely very memorable. The thing is sometimes environmental challenges can be super harsh, and water is one of the big ones. No, I agree.
Iced over water.
Kilmarin, memorable moment.
Well, that was certainly the second time that most of our team almost faced inevitable death by nature rather than monsters. Very interesting. For me, the moment was, of course, the Side note with the kids, second, but really with seeing Doog, I didn't think it would be that funny, but it really stuck with me. We don't know what Ulfgar's message was on the rock. Like the fact that you thought through that and had like, oh, I want to do this act of kindness, and the world will never know.
It was very cute. I love the mystery of it too. Like, you know, that could be definitely a behind the scenes. Like, what was the message? But I don't want Twiff to tell anyone. Like, honestly, I just
no.
I want him to know exactly what it was, and then have no one know.
Correct.
It's like there's these crazy like never-ending mysteries. Like, you know, what was the heartfelt thing that would have that, you know, guarantee, you know, it's like the okay, so there's a movie in Australia called The Wog Boy, right? And one of the best things about it was there was this flawless pickup line that they would use that would literally get any girl, like, or guy, immediately enamored with you. And all they would do is they just lean in and just sort of say something, and then they'd immediately go, well, let's get out of here. And there was like, what's he saying? And it was such a cool.
Oh God!
I loved that. That was so good. Yeah, no. Sierra, memorable moment for today.
I actually have 3, but I'll be quick.
Okay, go on.
The first is going into the icy water and recognizing that the environment itself is another formidable foe.
Especially for the kind of race you are.
Whoa, is my hair out?
Kilmarin's moment with the children. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely out. Kilmarin's moment with Finn and Shersha, and the speaker asking me about faith.
Yeah, those are some good ones as well. I love that little bit with Faith too, because it was like, damn, he's got a good point. What the hell? Yeah, just stop killing kids, right? Like enough of your bullshit.
Right.
Just don't kill kids. What's wrong with you? Like, oh man, no, I love it. Actually, you know, not to say that this is amusing, but this is kind of funny. I do get a lot of like door knockers at my house, and every now and then I'll engage with like just some friendly talk, right? And it would always come down to stuff like that. Like you would find the one thing that would just absolutely stump them, and you're just like, oh, like I had this one that came in and says, have you ever asked yourself why God lets bad things happen? And I'm like, no, because I don't, because I said no, because I don't believe God makes bad things happen. He goes, well, do you ever wonder what God can do to help make things better? And I said, no, because God gave us the tools that we need to make things better. You know, he's already done so much for us.
Shutting him down.
And it was, and you know, this guy's like, listen, dude, do you want a brochure? And I'm like, no, I'm good, thanks. I feel like,
listen, I got this brochure. I put a lot of time and thought.
Yeah, no, that was basically it's like look, if this is what's in the brochure, I'm like up here already. Thanks though, you know, I appreciate it. And it was really funny too, because he came back with like younger door knockers, like as if it's like this is the guy. This is the weird guy. And I was like, oh, I can see this. I can see this going a particular way. I'm going to have to move house now. But yeah.
I mean, what you said is probably enlightening for them.
But, you know, it
probably
was
the reason why.
Yeah. But, you know, the reason I do it is mostly because when I get door knockers, it doesn't matter what they're door knocking for. I always do. Because I live in Australia, as you know. It is scorching hot, and these people are out there. I have a pallet of bottled water here at all times, cooling, literally just for door knockers. So if a person comes knocking on the door and says, "Hey, do you want this?" or "You this is,"
That's actually very kind.
I basically say no, but here, have this. And yeah, no, that's it. That's, you know.
You're much nicer than I am, because I work from home typically, and so I'm often in a meeting, and so I answer the phone with a headset on, like, I'm in a meeting, go away. Do you want? No, bye.
Yeah. No,
no, he does too. It's ruthless.
No,
most of the time those are automated as well.
Yeah. You know, it's just. I mean, I empathize very heavily, and it's rough being out there. If I got door knockers, I'd do my best to get blacklisted. Pixie. Amazing.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
I'd love to hear stories on how you managed that. All right, before we get too distracted, Ulfgar, memorable moment for today, if you'd be so kind.
Ulfgar as a character, his most memorable moment is finally being warm. Getting rid of those damn 3 levels of exhaustion. And I think also, just kind of, checking in on his friends, seeing Doog, but also kind of trying to share his experience with his companions. He's not quite sure what it really means to him yet. But it's given him something to think about that he has not really given much thought to before.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, that's kind of cool. I like that. As for myself, I think my memorable moment is probably, I mean, I know it's kind of mean, but honestly, Saucy, your natural ones today were like just so on point.
They were so good.
It's like I'm gonna jump straight in and rip the thing out of you. It's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna pull you into the water. It's like, okay. I don't know. Like the dice are out to get you. Dice are out to get you, and I was kind of like just waiting for that. I was waiting for that other 0 to drop.
Apparently as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some. I love failures almost more than I love successes. There's this beauty that comes from a nat 1 that it's like of course you're elated when it's a D20, but when there's that just like catastrophic nope, then it's like, well, okay, so up to you guys, figure it out, like, because I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
cool.
mean, yeah,
there's a lot of fun there.
No, that's yeah, and you're right. I mean, I also say this about traps as well. Like, it's all well and good to have characters with like perceptions of like a million who see it through everything, but sometimes just falling for the trap is the entertaining thing. It's like, having a bit of fun with it. So, there you go.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yep. And I would like to go on record and say that I love pet rats. I think they're adorable and they're sweet, and anyone who is grossed out by them are just heartless people. Heartless people. Same thing with crows.
They're only used to the ones that you see out in the wild. That's probably why.
Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, Australian possums and American possums are the only excuse I have for that, because Australian possums are adorable as hell, but literally
vicious little shits.
Well, possums in America look like they freaking are on crack and you owe them money or something.
This is true.
They walk around your yard like that as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want my $2.
I want my $2.
All right, yeah, if you ever get a chance to Google Australian possum and you'll see what I mean. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for coming and joining us. We are going to go and raid now and share the love. Guys, Roll for Damage is another group of wonderful Australian performers from my neck of the woods. They are currently doing a charity for a hospital called St. Jude's in order to raise funds for the needy. We're going to go in there. We're going to go share some love. Guys, if you do have the means to, please give generously, because honestly, this time of year is hard for so many different organizations. And I want to do my best to share that love and to make sure that people, make sure the have-nots have a chance to have this year. So dig deep, share some love, and of course flood their chat with love hearts. I do not want them to be able to communicate for the next 20 seconds, okay? All the emotes, all the love hearts, all the raids, all everything. As we unleash the horde upon their channel, I will bid you farewell. Have a wonderful and amazing evening, night or morning, whatever time it happens to be. Until next time, as always, game hard or try trying. Bye, everyone.
Bye.